Hey everyone, welcome back to Big Outdoors. If you're new around here, my name is Sheldon Marion and we just got back from a trip to the ocean, and it's time for me to start processing up some of our fish. For this, I use a pretty simple setup. I have a real nice buck fillet knife. I have my little sharpener here. I get these from Mustad. I have my little white table, cutting board, and then we use two baking sheets. One that's empty, that I take the fillets off and put them on there. I send them into the house for Shelby to vacuum wrap, and I grab a clean one, bring it out here so I have something to put all my fillets on. It's a pretty simple process. I also have my little hose here with a simple little attachment just to wash things up, clean off any scales or anything like that. And it's a pretty simple process. So what I'll do here is I'll just grab a fish out of our cooler, and then I'll show you how I fillet my salmon so it's ready for the vacuum wrappers. Alrighty, so here we go. Here's a nice little Chinook that we got. With Chinook, if they're a bit small, you have to keep the head attached just so in that way they can measure it, make sure it's all legal and all that stuff. So what I do to start with, if there's a bunch of like real nasty water or anything like that, I'll hose it all off. But as you can see, he is nice and clean. So basically, grab my fillet knife and I go just past this fin, and it's at about a 30-degree angle. I go from the fin to the spine, and I cut straight down, and once I hit the spine, I turn my knife, and with a slight angle up with downward pressure, you're able to follow that spine all the way through. So we cut down to hit the spine, turn my knife, and I'm pushing down on the knife with the blade slightly up so you don't cut through that spine. And you just take your time, work your way down to the tail, and then when you come out to the last little bit, you'll have to open it up, and you have this beautiful, nice fillet. Now right here on the bottom of the belly, we have this little stretch of ribs. So what I do, I turn this slightly towards me. Again, it's your kind of preference. And I'm just going to quickly rinse my knife off. I got some scales on there. And I take this, and right here you see this little white line. You see some of the ribs that are still here. You want to come up just a little bit, like 1/4 of an inch, maybe not even that much, maybe 1/8 of an inch above those bones, and you kind of want to go down like a 45 and then rotate your knife up, and then that way the bones are running like this. So you go in and you rotate it up, so when you're cutting, the blade of your knife is actually running along those bones. Then that way you can remove that little section of rib bone. And you don't want to do it all in one swipe. If you can, great. If you can't, it's not a problem. What I do is I start up here, and you go in, and you just run your knife along these bones. You can see I take little sections at a time, turn my knife up, and then this way it gets rid of all these kind of belly bones. Then you just make your way down, and you're not in a big race or panic. Cut that off. There's all those bones. And if you're really taking your time, there's also these bones here. What I do is I take the back of my knife and I'll run it like this. And when you do that, you can see almost every single one of them pop up. And if I have time in this process, I'll have tweezers, and you want to grab them and pull them away from the meat. You'll see the way the meat runs. You can see the lines are kind of like this, and the bones are right in between those lines. So if you pull it like that, it won't rip the meat apart. If you go any other angle, instead of sliding the bone out, you kind of yank them out, and then it makes the meat just kind of spread apart. And it doesn't really affect anything. It just makes that section of the meat kind of, I don't know, looks a little messy. But anyways, that's how I fillet them. And now that's ready for vacuum wrap. If you want, you can make a small cut down to the skin here. And if you hold the skin and put your knife down, you can remove the skin as well. But for right now, because I'm in a bit of a rush, I have to go back to work today. I'm not going to be doing that. But yeah, this is the exact way that your fish will come to you if you take it to a little butcher at the port. Or you can just do it at home, save a little bit of money, but it takes up some time, so it's all up to you. So once I have that, I put it on my baking sheet. Once my baking sheet's full, I send it into the house. Shelby vacuum wraps it. She writes down what species of fish it is. This one's a nice, beautiful Chinook. And then we're able to vacuum wrap it, and it'll stay, as long as it stays sealed, it'll stay fresh like the day you caught it for about a year or two. But anyways, guys, this is how I do up my fish when I get home. And hopefully this helps you out. If it did, hit that like button down the bottom. Leave me a comment or two. Subscribe to the channel. Catch you on the next one.